I've been calling you your son's name, I think, all year. And you have not corrected me. All right.
When you're a reflection of your
Oh, that's okay.
and the teams take the second half once again. They've reversed ends. So they've reversed ends. So obviously you have the visiting Las Lomas Knights ahead 1-0 coming from your left to your right on your screen. Going right to your left, you have the Acalanes Dons. It looks like both clubs have come out essentially with their starting lineups from the beginning of the match, unchanged. And we're off, and 40 minutes to go. Oh, and I do stand corrected. It looks like the Dons have made one defensive change. We have Greta Cole sitting at the outside left back position. She's starting the second half. She wasn't starting at the beginning of the match.
She actually made that change at the end of the first half. They brought Mia Mitchell out and pulled sunk Greta back into that spot. Oh.
So the Dons working hard to get the ball out of their defensive end. And they'll have an opportunity now with the throw-in right at the midfield mark.
Exploiting the width of the field. You see that the Las Lomas players, the strongest players, are stacked right down the middle. So if they start to exploit that outside a little bit better, I think they're going to find some joy there.
Merrill has the ball. She's running. She's got a. Oh, that was a flip through for Sasha Sadoff. Played off the back of the Knights defender. Carlin's collecting the ball, and should be a throw-in. Oh, the ref goes the way we didn't think they were going. They go for Las Lomas. Oh, no, he's reversed himself now. So
can I yell that out? White ball. I'm going to start getting crazy now. Second half. Gloves are off.
Yeah, we can see definitely the bench of Las Lomas is up on their feet. They're really, really excited and most likely nervous. They want to start off well and continue their streak that they were having in that first half.
All right.
So Las Lomas throw deep in Acalanes territory. Hopefully the AR is already standing out of bounds when it hits his feet. But as any coach and referee will tell you, when it hits a referee, they are but a blade of grass. I have another throw-in for Las Lomas, again deep in the Acalanes defensive end, way down the near side of the field. And that will convert into a goal kick for Acalanes. Giordano's collecting it and passing it off to her center back, Erickson, who will send the ball down the field. Las Lomas recovers that. The Dons steal it back. We've got Merrill at the top of the field. Just a little too hard on that touch. Too much ricochet, not keeping it quite close to the feet.
Tight space. It's really hard to...
Giordano slides and saves once again. Ball glanced off a Las Lomas player, took a English spin towards the goal. Giordano collects it and punts it out. Deep to the midfield position. Merrill's backing up on it using her old basketball skills.
Yeah, we're not really seeing a lot of calls there when it comes to that kind of the ref's blind side.
McQueen plays it back to Erickson in the back line. Erickson loses the ball. Brown for Las Lomas has the ball at the midfield now. And Brown kicks it out of bounds. McQueen stands her up. Brown kicks it out of bounds, and it will be a Las Lomas, an Acalanes throw-in.
I'd like to see that more and more, like that pressure, especially on that wide spot, because that is their go-to move. So a little bit more predicting.
Bella Bagliato steals it, gets it to Merrill. Merrill punches it through to McQueen. McQueen keeps battling for the ball, but Las Lomas collects it, sends it back. Combi sends it back up to Merrill. It's kind of a back and forth right at the midfield right now. Combi steps in on Brown, deflects the ball. McQuain's collecting at the side. Brown gives a hard chuck. Smith has it at the midfield. Krawick plays it up to Merrill. We've got a runner. And Merrill can't quite thread the needle through that hole. Krawick tries to step to it. Krawick steps to the ball, and it looks like it is out of bounds, and it'll be a Las Lomas throw-in in their defensive half.
Enough to excite the fans over here. I'd love to see another stronger one of their players getting up here.
Looks like the Dons have kind of made an adjustment here in the last 2 minutes. For a while there, they were backing their mids and their defenders way back, leaving a huge gap between the single striker and the defensive players. We got Merrill making a run. And we've got a foul on Baglietto, back in about the third mark for Las Lomas. Las Lomas will be taking this direct kick.
You know, I like to see consistency when we're talking about handling calls. You know, ball to hand, hand to ball. If you're going to call ball to hand, then call it consistently. And we've seen it a few different ways, including the PK that was given early on against Las Lomas. We have a little bit of inconsistency here with that.
Smith collects the ball, plays it to Krawick at the midfield. Krawick dances around with it and plays it all the way across the far side, trying to move it to the outside to Carlin, just a little bit outside of her reach. That was one of the first true switches the Dons have done in a while. I think it caught Carlin a little bit by surprise.
Yeah, you'd like to see the fullbacks get a little bit more aggressive to attack from the Dons. They're sitting back, and there's a lot of space in front of them.
Way out of the box, which is always, I mean, just, you know, when something like that happens, and the keeper stays up to receive like that and passes a little chip shot. Oh, okay.
Carlin has the ball in back, plays it out to Coles. Coles collects it.
Nice, played it to Kira in the middle. Kira with Haley Brown there, comes in. Allison Merrill to Emily Smith.
Smith has the ball on the near side, looking for an opportunity. She's got a runner. Sasha Sadoff flashes across. Merrill's there. Ball's up in the air, in the box, spinning out to the far-hand side. Baglietto has it, and Baglietto tries to get it back into the box, but kind of mishits that one. Krawick, takes a big swing. I think she thought she had an opportunity there. And unfortunately, it rolls back harmlessly to the Las Lomas keeper there.
Oh, my gosh.
Big punt out. Number 18 for Las Lomas collects the ball. That's shot.
Yeah, that was a great diagonal run by Sasha. You'd love to see that. You'd love to see the players start wide and make the runs inside and surprise the players off their shoulder.
They were certainly on the attack, had the Dons on their heels on that play.
Ball plays through to the far side. Giordano once again sliding save on the near hand side of the box, grabbing the ball before the Las Lomas runner Cameron Ernst can get to the ball. Big punt out. That punt's going to the 50, but I think there was a little communication issue there between Merrill and McQuain, as each one I think thought the other was going to step to the ball. Las Lomas throw in from midfield. Ball's rolling back to the back. Combi's looking for an opportunity and decides simply to pooch it out of bounds to the near side. It'll be a Las Lomas throw in again, deep in the Acalanes defensive end. So we are rapidly approaching the 10-minute in mark to the first half. Almost 10 minutes in, a little over 30 minutes left to play in this contest, at least in regulation. Throw in deep into the box. And the call is a goal kick for Acalanes. Oh my goodness, that's got to be a foul. Again, Cameron McQueen is taken down from the backside, simply running to the ball. The referee is coming over to place the ball, but he's keeping the color in his pocket.
No card on that one.
Actually, the refs are consulting as to what that should take place here, and they decide it looks like play on.
I think that the center ref is the one that called that. The AR didn't even call that, so I don't suspect that he saw anything. He was wrongdoing at all.
Don's actually play the ball all the way across the field and give it up on the third pass. Big through kick. It looks like Las Lomas is changing their strategy a little bit. They had been building an attack and really working down the wings. They seem to be really trying to go up and over in their current strategy right now. Krawick does a nice little side kick, moving the ball up. We have McQueen streaking up towards the ball, kind of sacrificing her body towards it. Krawick's in a battle. Merrill's now in a battle for the ball, and Las Lomas is playing it out of the back, coming all the way across.
Having a little bit of a communication lapse right now.
That's a nice stop by Greta Coles in the backside. She steals the ball, and the ball goes immediately to the feet of Allison Merrill. Merrill kind of loses that ball, but we've got McQueen fighting for it. And somehow the referee found a foul in all of that to give a direct kick to Las Lomas right at the midfield mark. He waved off the what would have been Acalanes throw-in and awarded the direct kick there to Las Lomas.
Much to the disappointment of all our fans.
The kick will be taken by number 20, Emma Height, for Las Lomas. Looking in, she's got a couple nearby players for short passes. She also can send it in, and she is sending it in big and deep. Looking for that opportunity. It is headed out by Jessie Carlin. It's played out. Kira Krawick, number 4, has the ball at midfield. She makes a breakthrough. She's got at least one runner, and she takes it back and starts to build it out. She plays it back to Combi. Combi plays the ball through and plays it off on the side to Greta Coles. A little bit of miscommunication there between Coles and McQueen. McQueen was checking, and Coles sent the ball through. That'll result in a Las Lomas throw from about the 25-yard line out from the Las Lomas goal.
Yeah, that ball really, the vertical ball needs to find feet of the play rather than the space. You'd love to see the wingers from Dawn start to take a higher starting position up the field into the pockets and the corners and really come in from there. They're playing really low at this point, and it's really coming in handy for Las Lomas to keep them at bay.
And that's the second Las Lomas goal. That one comes from Haley Brown, their leading scorer. She put it on her left foot and slid it through to the far post.
This is really important where the girls have to keep their confidence and not kind of fall apart. There's still plenty of time left in the game, plenty of time for them to come back.
Yeah.
And they just have to know that they can do it. This is really like a battle of the wills right now. Don't you agree, Hadis?
Yeah, it is really important that also tactically players are giving themselves a chance. The Las Lomas players in the middle channel far up the field have each other to play to and cooperate, whereas at the Dawn side we only have one player really playing by themselves against 3 or 4 defenders. And being close to each other is really important to be able to take the pressure off the ball. And that was a great example of playing between the 2 strikers playing really close to each other. We typically see in today's game a lot of 3 forward setup with the center forward and 2 wingers. And in this instance, we had 2 center forwards and 1 midfielder close to each other, which really helped create mobility for somebody to get in behind and a good pass in. And that was a chance and a goal.
Ball rolls all the way back through on that through ball to keeper Sofia Giordano. There's a big punt coming out. And we got a runner from Las Lomas down the right-hand side. And it's stopped and snuffed out there by Kate Comby.
We still have 25 minutes to go, so there's plenty of time. The Dons just need to settle down a little bit, make sure that they get a little bit closer to each other to be able to actually cooperate when they get into the opponent's half, and get a little bit of more passes to stretch out the Knights defense, who's still very, very comfortable. You want to make sure that they don't feel comfortable when they're defending you. So we'd love to see a little bit of more of that width and a little bit more compactness in the middle from the attacking midfielders joining in with the center forward. And that way we might see a little bit more of opportunities going the Dons' way.
Oh, that was a near look on a through ball to Allison Merrill, picking up that target in the middle, just a little too far, and it went all the way to the Las Lomas keeper.
You just want to see him keep going no matter what, because you can always draw and cause a keeper error. You know, don't give up. In that final third, your job is to keep going till that ball is either safe in that keeper's hand or in the back of the net.
Yeah, still another great run, diagonal run off of the shoulder of a defender, and those are the runs that are really difficult to defend. And if you catch the defenders facing the wrong way with their hips, you can really be free to the goal.
Kira Krawitz working the ball through the field, kind of making a solo run. She gets the ball up to Erickson. Erickson's looking for an opportunity to pass to somebody. Erickson's got the ball on the move. She plays it out to the wing to McQueen. Smith plays the ball up. Erickson keeps it in, and McQueen.
We have a goal. Gosh dang it! Sorry about that. Starting to be a fan in here.
Called on Reagan McQueen, going hard after the ball at the edge of the box, and so we will have a Las Lomas direct kick from just at the edge of the 18.
Yeah, the Dons are spending a lot of time with their feet on the ball. They need to find a way to make a decision a little bit quicker, move the ball, let the ball do the work, make sure you're moving off the ball. Because they tend to get stuck with the ball at their feet for more than 2 seconds, which is really not helpful when you're trying to break down the defenses such as this one.
Emily Smith has the ball on the near side. Smith is going towards the middle of the field. That's her striking position. Oh, and she takes a big swing at the ball. Unfortunately goes right to a Las Lomas player. Kate Comby running the ball down the backside and simply dumps it out of bounds to reset the defense and force a Las Lomas throw-in. So we are rapidly approaching the halfway point in the second half, halfway through. We're about 19 minutes into the second half. That gives the Dons about 21 minutes to try to net this thing up. They have done it before this year. It's been their pattern from time to time. We have a corner kick for Las Lomas now. We have a corner kick coming for Las Lomas. This one's important for the Dons to keep up. A 2-0 advantage is something you still can overcome. 3 would put them at a substantial disadvantage. Las Lomas plays it short and goes and steps inside. The Dons punch it out, and it's out. It's at midfield. Kira Krawick is running up, and Las Lomas simply dumps it out of bounds, resetting the clock again. Mia Mitchell, who's now in the match playing outside left back, takes the throw in.
AR needs to tell her where that ball went out, which was a lot higher up.
And there's a call on the throw-in.
That's a great opportunity off of a set play by Las Lomas. We didn't see any of the Dons tracking a short corner kick, and they could have really paid the price on that one.
So Dons are starting to push their attackers onto the field. We've had a substitution switch. Center back Callie Erickson's been pushed to the top. We're now bringing in the Frosh, Sasha Sadoff, to play on the outside right. We have Krawick on the left-hand side. So we have three of the faster, more aggressive Dons players up top, obviously, as they're pushing for an opportunity to find a at least a closing goal here to bring things a little bit closer. Smith is on a run up the field. Muppy Gregg's also in the match now, number 25 for the Dons. She's battling for the ball and comes out with it.
Somehow leaves a heap of Las Lomas players on the ground there.
Bagliato tries to get the ball, but Haley Brown uses her big body to keep Bagliato away. Brown's just kind of dribbling back and forth across the field. She's gone both ways now, and she feeds the ball off to the right-hand side. And Bagliato collects the ball, punches it out. Oh, no, that was Carlin. Forces the ball out of bounds, setting up yet another Las Lomas set piece, a corner kick, this time from the near corner. Dons send all of their defenders back except for number 4, Krawick, but Las Lomas is keeping, it looks like, 5 of their players back on her, so the Dons should have numbers on this. Ball's coming in. Headed out. Muppy Gregg does a beautiful job of heading it out, and the ball's played through. Giordano has it, and presumably, she plays it out quickly by hand. Catches Sadoff perhaps a little bit by surprise, and it plays back to Giordano, so now she has to kick it out from the ground. Merrill steps to the ball. And we have a through ball. Giordano has an amazing save. She is sliding. It's a line shot right at her. She collects it, she controls it, and she's sending her troops up again to take her punt, which is a low punt this time. And we have a foul on Las Lomas, so we'll have an Acalanes direct kick.
This momentum is really important right now. They need to capitalize on every
Smith plays with the ball a little too long, doesn't hear the ball come. The player coming from behind to marker, no communication, and we have yet another Las Lomas foul.
That should be a call. That should be a call for taking that ball out like that.
Referee apparently doesn't want to bring out his color. He's doing yet another warning. Number 14, I believe. You guys can correct me in the booth here if I'm wrong, but I think that's like her 3rd or 4th foul call here in the last 10 to 12 minutes.
Yeah, so one thing that we see right now is there was a tactical change by the Dons. They're playing 3 in the back, and they've pushed one of the players up to play alongside the center forward. So that will be the key setup between the 2 center forwards and the winger. So now we have 4 players attacking. We have 2 attacking midfielders, only 1 holding. They will be vulnerable on a counter, but this seems like a way for them to take the risk and try to get a goal. And let's see what happens going forward with this organization.
Here we go. We have a through ball for Las Lomas up the far side. She's running free. Combi's coming over, and Combi steps to the ball. Followed by Carlin stepping to the ball. Carlin plays the ball up to Sadoff's dancing with the ball over there, and there's a combination pass that just doesn't work out for the Dons. Ball's out of bounds. Las Lomas throw in. So at this time we're starting to approach 15 minutes left to play. The pressure is really starting to build in terms of the pressure and the need to make a play and get the opportunities done here. If you're on the Acalanes side, they seem to be a little... Oh, and that's a foul. Allison Merrill takes down Haley Brown, and we're going to have a free kick by Las Lomas about 40 yards out from the nets. Giordano stands in the middle of her nets. Her defenders are holding the 18. The ref has dropped all the way into the box to watch the action that's going to play. It's a high arcing kick, and it's another goal. That was a header and a set piece. That's been the Dons' nemesis against Las Lomas all year. That is their third set piece goal against the Dons this season. That came off the head of Beasley for Las Lomas.
Yeah, giving up free kicks in your third is always a danger. There we see also a poor marking on a player who gets wide open and is able to comfortably head the ball against the goalkeeper. As she's sliding to the left, the ball is going right.
Kralik plays the ball through. Unfortunately, there is no center runner there. It's picked up again by Merrill. Merrill's got the ball, bringing it up, looking for the opportunity. She's got people, but she takes a shot from about 30 yards out, probably a little too far out to score in that opportunity, but the Dons are going to take any opportunity they can at this point in time to take cracks on the net. Carlin tries to play the ball out. Merrill tries to play the ball out. Sadoff collects the ball, but is going backwards. She plays it to Carlin, and Carlin plays it immediately to a Las Lomas player who has it down the left-hand side and making a run. Mitchell punches the ball out, but it's it's collected by Las Lomas. They keep it in play. And we got Bagliato who plays it off a Las Lomas player for a Dons throw-in. The Dons are coming with substitutions right now. Greta Coles, number 7, and Reagan McQueen, number 13, re-enter the match. They re-enter the match for Gregg and for Mitchell. McQueen's going to the midfield position. Cole's going to stabilize that 3-person back line that the Dons are running right now. It looks like the Dons have made a switch now. They put Erickson back at that center back position, and they've switched her usual back mate, Kate Comby, up into the attacking position. McQueen starts to build an attack with Merrill, but Merrill loses the ball to Haley Brown. Haley Brown's got a run on the ball. She goes right past Greta Coles on the right-hand side. Oh, and no call on that one. Coles played tough there, takes down the much bigger Brown, and maybe the referee thought that nobody that small could actually foul somebody that big in the box.
Yeah, and those runs around the back three on the width, those are really the opportunity for players, for the Knights to attack. And that was a great example, slipping away from the three. There's a wide space between the left center back and right center back and the touchline. So those are the runs that are going to be more visible as we go forward with the setup of the two teams.
Don's throw-in now taking place. Got Coles making the throw-in about in the offensive third for the Dons. Now, we have a foul now. This is an opportunity. We have a direct kick for the Dons, exactly 25 yards out from the net. Smith will take that goal shot. Las Lomas is putting up their wall. They're too close. The referee is going to move them back. But this may be the best Dons opportunity of this half in quite some time. It'll be interesting to see what Smith does with this, whether she plays it through to a runner or whether she sends it up and over the top. She sends it up and over the top, and it goes right to the hands of the Las Lomas keeper. And they are out. We have stoppage time to look forward to, but we have about 11 minutes left in regulation on the standard clock. Giordano makes the save.
Yes, and then Rally comes back in. Sweet.
McQueen has the ball on the near side. She plays the ball up to a streaking Kate Comby, but a little too far. Las Lomas steps and clears the ball out of bounds for the throw-in. Dons are pushing everybody back up into the attack. They only have 2 back on the defense. Right now it's Carlin and Erickson in back. Everybody else is up into the attack mode. And we've got another throw in as Las Lomas just as happy to punch the ball out of bounds. We'll watch another few seconds run off the clock.
10 minutes left.
What are you thinking, Pattis? You're Evan right now, and they're down 3-0, 10 minutes left. You're thinking throw everything out.
Unfortunately, we have an offsides call. Nope.
Yeah, I think the game has been played in the middle channel, and really the Dons, because of the players that they did not have in that middle upper zone, is really something that stood out. And obviously the anchor player from Las Lomas did a good job of making sure nothing happens there. On the flip side, the Las Lomas team is playing with 2 strikers, 1 number 10 player right behind the 2, and they've been able to really take advantage of that middle play. Right now, if you're Dons, you're making a good adjustment here by making sure you have 2 center forwards. The service right now is you really want to move the ball into the other half as quickly as possible so that you can actually get advantage. If you're playing in the middle or the back third, you're really just waiting for the turnover that can cost you another opportunity for Las Lomas to get a goal.
That's a goal kick for the Dons. Dons will try to get it out quickly. Las Lomas is making another substitution.
This is a heartbreaker. It's a heartbreaker for these Dons. This would be the 2nd year in a row that they're down at the size.
Yeah, and the Dons are definitely a younger team, and they only have few seniors, so they definitely have that on their side. And there's still plenty of time, and with 10 minutes or less, about 10 minutes to go, you really can get a goal, and that could switch the momentum. But they really need to make sure that they're being aggressive, they have the grit on defense, and they move the ball with care up the field to create those chances and not waste time just keeping the ball going sideways.
Capitalizing on these small advantages they have is going to be the only way that they're able to.
McQueen uses her body there to get the ball. She plays it up to the streaking Merrill. Merrill's playing, almost through. Nice ricochet there. Sadoff has the ball. Plays it out to McQueen. McQueen has it up the side, and we will see what happens here. It is a throw-in at the absolute corner flag for the Dons all the way down in that offensive end. Maybe one of their last best opportunities here. Ball's played to the center to Bagliato, and she can't control it. Out to Las Lomas. Dons are basically trying to defend 3-on-3 at this point in time. Erickson streaks across and punches the ball out of bounds to save the attack there and to let her midfielders recover back.
Yeah, we're really not seeing many crosses, and for Dons it would be really important to get the ball out wide, make runs on the weak side, get a service in, and abandon attack in the middle channel when the Las Lomas defense is set. They're giving you up on the width, but the wingers need to have an attitude of getting in behind, getting that service, and getting it in high quantity so that we can get some opportunities to get the forwards running onto that ball and perhaps finishing either up high with a header or ideally with the feet so they can just place it into the goal frame.
Dons are coming out on the attack. Combi's making the run. She gets it to Smith, and they just can't really connect up that pass.
Here we go, Greta.
Coles can't quite control the ball there at the midfield, so it'll be the Las Lomas throw-in. And whether it's a matter of getting players onto the field and their opportunities or a matter of slowing down the clock and running out some of the time, Las Lomas is making a number of substitutions, it seems, at every opportunity here.
Yeah, at this point also the game management becomes really important and vital for the Knights, making sure that they're taking the momentum away from the Dons any way they can.
And approximately 5 minutes left.
So according to the public address announcer here at the stadium, we now have approximately 5 minutes left in the match. And that was just simply an obvious move by Las Lomas trying to run things out. It was just a cross-field kick to the farthest corner of the field, ball running out of bounds, and yet another Las Lomas substitution taking place.
Yeah, that was actually a great ball to find, a great space. We just did not have a player making a run into it, whether it was to run the clock down. But it really is the type of pass that you would be looking for if you are Las Lomas. You'd love to see a winger make a run as far out next to the line as possible to make sure that they can keep that ball in. But that is the type of ball that Dons do not want to give up. You do not want them to play that ball.
Dons try to play a ball down the right-hand side, or the left-hand side, rather, to the fleet-footed Muppy Grag. A little too far, opens the door to Las Lomas to punching it out of bounds. Carlin steps to the ball. It's one of those three defenders, and we have a stoppage, and once again, a Las Lomas substitution. We're not really tracking whether these are the same or different players coming on and off. They have enough players over there to put two or three rosters together on the Las Lomas side, so it could be that they're just running players on, because the reality is that with less than 5 minutes to play and a 3-goal differential, this one is going to be difficult to change the outcome for the Dons.
Yeah, but we do understand that the subs that are coming in, they're always being put on the farthest touch line, away from the entrance point, from the sideline where the Las Lomas bench is.
Again, a little miscommunication that time between Greg and Krawick, trying to figure out who really wants the ball. Combi has the ball coming up the field. Oh, she tries to connect with Smith. The Dons are just simply in a rush at this point in time, and so much so they don't have the patience or the time really to let the passes and the play develop. They're pushing as hard as they can. Krawick has the ball. She plays it to Reagan. Reagan tries to kick the ball. It deflects off of a Las Lomas.
Yeah, that is a type of play that you can create when the players are close to each other. That was a great example of cooperating up high up the field with the players that are near each other. You want to see now, if you're Dons, anytime you have space in front of you by the back line or the midfield, you want them to take it. You want to take as much free space as you possibly can and then look for that service.
Ball's played all the way back to Giordano. Giordano picks it up for perhaps one last punt. Merrill tries to head the ball. Unfortunately, it's out of bounds, and not surprisingly, we have another substitution coming in for Las Lomas.
It's all part of what is done towards the end, wouldn't you agree? You're subbing, you're icing, you're trying to just run the clock every way you can to keep them.
Yeah, the other way you can also look at it is, getting the players onto the pitch, maybe who are younger, who have never been in a game like this. Even when you're a 3-goal difference, putting them in there means a lot for their confidence and for the future of the program.
Dons are actually trying to build some attack there by a pass across the back. And the Dons get a goal, Emily Smith to Kira Crowett. That's one goal on the board for the Dons, moving the score to 3-1.
Is there any kind of record for this? 7 seconds. What was that? Pato AC Milan had the fastest goal. What are we guessing here? Can we do this? I think we've got the team for it.
Why not? That was a great play again. Players being able to help each other out when the pressure comes, play that ball, make it a 2v1 situation within the big game, and simplify the game. That was a great example of solving a 2v1 and finding a great shot, a turn and a shot by the center forward.
We're into stoppage time. Hard to know how much the referee's put on. He hasn't made any hand signals to his ARs, so we are simply at the discretion of the referee at this point in time as we play on. Merrill brings the ball up. Merrill's on the attack, looking for an opportunity. Las Lomas plays it all the way back, and we have a Dons throw in here.
What do we have left? Just seconds ticking down right now.
Muppy Gregg has the ball on the left-hand side, tries to make a run. Gregg's fighting for it. Ball's played out and through by Las Lomas. And we've got a foul against Acalanes. That'll be a free kick for Las Lomas, this time from about 55 yards out from the net. So this really doesn't qualify as a likely set-piece opportunity. But they still send it way back in, and it is punched out of bounds by Greta Coles.
So hard to watch the last few seconds of the game, right? Supporter, your kids on the team. What do you think?
And that's the match, ladies and gentlemen. So this one goes to Las Lomas. Score of 3-1. We had a good battle. It was a good match. Congratulations to the Acalanes Dons, DFAL champions 2016, and the top-ranked team, the number 2 seed for the playoffs. They go down in the semifinals, unfortunately for the second year in a row. Las Lomas, the victor 3-1. They will go on and play Livermore in the finals on Saturday at 7 p.m. Thanks for joining us.
We want to thank Hadas from Magic Sports Club for coming out tonight and providing some color, some insight to the game. He has players on the Acalanes Dons that were out here tonight. What are your final thoughts, Hadas?
Yeah, that was definitely a hard break for the Dons. It was a 3 goals that happened against them, and being down 3 goals and getting that goal, I think that is a big takeaway. That is something. They're a young team. They will bounce back, and I am sure that they'll be back in this position next year. I think that for the game, the way it went, looking at the Las Lomas, they wanted to play counter. They really wanted to make sure that on defense that they were disciplined. They take care of that middle channel. They did that really, really well. And at the end, I believe that's what made a big difference in today. Thank you very much, and I appreciate it. It was great being here.
Thank you for coming out. It's a heartbreak for us. It's Sophia's birthday today too, the keeper for Acalanes. So it's not a very good end of the birthday, but they can look at this, like you said, they got this far, and coming deep into NCS is never a failure. This is always positive stuff, and they can definitely learn from this, and as a young team come back and bring it again next year. So
Absolutely.
Thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Happy birthday, Sophia.
Oh, thank you. Well, she'll watch this later. Anyway, those of you watching, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support of the Dons. As always, we appreciate you, and we'll see you next year. Bye-bye.